Hey guys, Ardenstone. Um, I guess today Blizzard announced this is the March 19th. I guess they announced the Hoist the Sails Plunderstorm event. Um, it looks like it's going to be a pirate-themed battle royale. Um, I'm actually really, really surprised with this. It to me, I have to say immediately, I've watched a little bit of this trailer here. I skipped through it a little bit, but I'm gonna watch these things in a minute here. But to me, it doesn't really seem like something I'd be completely into. But I'm sure that it's gonna get some interest from. There's probably gonna be a lot of people that will like it. Me personally, if you watch my videos, you may not know. But I play World of Warcraft a lot. I am just not currently playing it. I played when the Yggdrasil patch went live. My friend and I, we play pretty heavily when new patches come out, especially when new raids come out. We progressed through the normal and then into the heroic. We got Firath ahead of the curve in the second week, and and then after that, it was like we kind of just we kind of trickle out. We played like I played probably 3 weeks after until 3 weeks after that, and I was finishing up the gearing. I got to a point where the next thing I would have needed to do was really just push Mythic Plus or Mythic Raids, which I don't do Mythic Raids, and I don't really enjoy Mythic Plus at all. I personally hate the game mode entirely. I really only go in there. I mean, honestly, only at the request of my friend sometimes. But I personally just hate the game mode. It's extremely, unless if you're like with a guild, completely with your own guild, like pugging Mythic Plus is just a completely toxic experience. But in my opinion, it just the whole game mode is not really like what encompasses WoW for me. So I don't like doing that activity. So that's another reason why I won't progress any further than heroic raid gear. Um, but again, I just kind of get tired of playing the same thing over and over again. When once I've reached a point where my gear is really really high and there's not really anything else to look forward to. Um, so coming back to this, I mean like this event, I have to say I gotta give them an A for effort. Trying something new, throwing it out here, see what people think. And I love to see that they're trying different things. It's a it's exciting because it seems like for the last 10 years, it's really just been raids, Mythic Plus, raids, Mythic Plus, raids, Mythic Plus, dungeons, dungeons here and there. And I mean, it gets really old when that's the only thing that you do over and over again in every expansion, and questing and stuff. But um, yeah, it's kind of cool. Um, I was gonna go through these videos here in a second, but really I did want to kind of go through some of the stuff. It looks like they're gonna be doing the event in the Arathi Highlands. Um, the the uh, the event's gonna be limited time, and so I think they're just gonna stick to the Arathi Highlands for the whole event. But it does say it's gonna be 60 players. There's gonna be their like matches are like 10 to 15 minutes long. There are It's going to be completely new characters, so you don't take your characters in from World of Warcraft standard. You are going to create new characters that are not going to be leveled up like standard World of Warcraft characters. They are going to progress in the match with items and abilities that you pick up in the match, and those items and abilities go into your action bar. The action bar is like I don't know, 6 or 7 slots. Those items fill the slots, and then you're able to use them from there. You get rewards at the end, regardless of whether or not you won. And they have some unique rewards for players, different mounts and things, transmog pets. It looks like some different items, and but the video goes into more detail about that stuff. So I was gonna kind of like just watch the videos here. Um, but the one thing, other thing before I start them is that there are two ways you can queue for it. Apparently, you can queue in solo. You can play in a solo match with other people who are also solo, or you can queue with a friend. You can invite a friend to join you, or you can queue in into duos. Effectively, it's called duos, and you queue in. If you're by yourself, it'll match you up with somebody else. If you have a friend with you, then you will just be placed in as a group. And if you're in duos, you will be placed in with a match that is only teams of two people. You will not be placed in a match with solo players. Um, so that's kind of how it works. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just move into the. First, we'll watch the trailer, and then we'll watch like the 12-minute little dev video here. So let me get this thing. I actually have this open here because it just works better from here. So because I can go into theater mode, which I think it's already in, and we can watch this. This is I don't know. We'll see. But here we go.
Ahoy there! Hope you're ready for a bit of plundering fun. All hands on deck.
Put that down a little bit.
Time to see what ye sea dogs are made of. There be treasure awaiting.
Gosh. But everybody's dressed like a pirate. That's for me. Like I don't even like dressing like a pirate when I'm in standard WoW.
To begin.
Oh man. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. That's that wow.
Alright,
Yeah.
I rated mods yesterday.
Okay.
I can rate them again, I guess.
Let me pause that here.
Sure.
Oh, Rex. Yep. Okay. Let's watch the other one here, and I'm gonna go to YouTube for this one because pause it for a second. This is the dev video. So they discuss a lot more of the stuff in this one. So yeah, let's go ahead and make sure that everything's good. Okay, we're in theatrical mode, I think already. So, oh, actually here, set this to, oh, not premium. No, not premium. And we want this one. There we go.
Hey everyone, welcome to Wowcast. We have a very exciting topic today, and with me I have two special guests.
Hi, I'm Orlando Salvatore. I'm a lead software engineer on WoW.
Hi, Bethany. Happy to be here. I'm Jeremy Fiesel. I'm Associate Game Director on WoW.
So, what is that black flag on the roadmap for 2024?
So when we were thinking about what we wanted to deliver to the players in 2024, what we ended up landing on was that we wanted to do something a little bit different than the things that we did previously in Dragonflight. So that's what we're here to talk about today. It's a brand new event, and we're calling it Plunderstorm. It is a pirate-themed, battle royale-inspired event that takes place entirely within World of Warcraft and is available for all active WoW subscribers. All that said, what do we feel like is like the 3 sentences that encapsulates the coolest parts about it?
So, Plunderstorm is World of Warcraft's take on a battle royale. It's an action-oriented game that lets you customize your build and basically your class every single match. You'll be able to start collecting abilities through chests and by killing monsters, even killing other players, all while trying to avoid a collapsing storm that is pushing players together. Whoever is the last team standing ends up winning. And you don't need to go through a quest line, you don't need to go through any previous content to be able to access this. This is immediately accessible for anybody who's an active WoW player.
We expect even the most casual player to be getting tons of plunder and tons of rewards every day. You might even say that the first minute or two are really a little bit more on the PvE side of things, where you're out fighting monsters, you're collecting a new set of abilities, and there isn't a huge amount of PvP combat until later on in the match. And I think it's important that that's like the core of the game, is the plundering, getting out and collecting chests and collecting items. You don't have to be the last person standing on the map in order to get a whole bunch of rewards. Even just by dropping into the map and completing your starter quest, that gives you a bunch of rewards just for doing the usual things you would do for the first couple of minutes. And so no matter what, you should exit that map with a bunch of plunder, even if you're not the last person standing. So as we were thinking about what the best framework for this would be, it just came to us that, hey, it should actually be an event that feels like it's a little bit outside of the main system. So we talked and we riffed about, hey, what would be the best theme for an event like that? We landed on pirates.
Who doesn't love pirates?
Because who doesn't love pirates? It's a fun theme, but also there's all these different pirate crews around Azeroth, and you've got to ask yourself the question, if you're not the hero of Azeroth, what are you doing on a day-to-day basis? So we're gonna actually track some of our civilian NPC friends and play as those characters as one of the pirate crews within Azeroth that isn't the hero of Azeroth. All of that came together to give us this theme of Kegleg's crew and the pirate crew, plundering these relics that are being transported across the Highlands.
What will players see when they jump into this new event?
When players enter this new event, they're going to notice that a lot of their core things that they're used to in World of Warcraft are different. When they get into the main menu, they'll have a brand new option available to them, which is the Plunderstorm button. They click on that, that takes them to a separate menu, which shows their character and their friends list, and they'll be able to invite players to their party all through the main menu. Normally you need to go into the game to invite another player into your party, but through Plunderstorm, you're actually inviting them through the main menu. Once you're partyed up, or if you want to go in solo, you queue up and load into a match. When you load into a match, you'll notice that you're invited into a pre-game lobby area where you're able to try out new abilities and try different mechanics that exist within Plunderstorm.
So one of the coolest things about designing Plunderstorm has been just figuring out where we can break the rules in World of Warcraft. TLDR, when you're thinking about changing up things that dramatically, it no longer made a huge amount of sense for your main character and everything associated with that character. All of your armor sets and all of the weapons and everything that you've collected over the years in your battle pets and your 36 different abilities doesn't necessarily translate directly into this game, but we wanted to start fresh and do crazy new abilities.
So, as Jeremy mentioned, there's going to be brand new abilities that normally you wouldn't see on classes or characters in there. Because
so that'll be interesting because you can't just like counter things because you won't know exactly what they have.
Or you're developing a mage ability, you want to feel mage-esque. Well, this, you don't have a class. You're actually going to be building a brand new kit every single time you're going into a match. And your builds may vary match to match because it all depends on what drops for you in the match. Even things like auto attack doesn't work like how it works normally in WoW. It's going to be an active ability that you're constantly using to attack enemies. One thing that's just baked into your experience is that you're going to have a health pot that's always.
It's interesting. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 7.
Slow down the UI compared to what World of Warcraft
UI,
is. You may be used to the 12 buttons on your main action bar, and then you have a bunch of other action bars you can enable. Well, this actually only has 7 total buttons that you can press on an action bar. When you loot an item, it doesn't go to your bag. You don't have a separate frame that you're opening. Everything gets put directly onto your action bars, and then from there, that's also your spells. So you're able to cast spells, drop abilities, pick up abilities, all to one singular action bar without needing to manage anything else. So we've really streamlined and simplified the experience.
That whole thing, I think, ends up feeling just wildly different than the way World of Warcraft plays right now. Not only is it action-oriented combat, but you're grabbing your abilities from the ground and then putting them on your bar. You can swap the 4 different abilities as you find new and cool things, or that you find certain synergies that work really well together. And then there's different rarities to the abilities, too. So you can get everything from uncommon, rare, all the way up to epic levels of these abilities. You get higher level abilities as you progress in the match, but you may also just get one really early in the match, get super lucked out, and you get epic fire whirl right at the very beginning, and then you can go and wreck some people. And that's one of the things I think that makes it super replayable. Not only do you get a kit of abilities that are always going to feel different in every match, but also how the power curve changes is also going to feel pretty different every match too.
Yeah, you know, we've experimented around with a lot of different spells and abilities, things that normally we couldn't do in World of Warcraft, and that's intentional as well. We want to make sure that when we're coming up with these brand new abilities, that they feel fresh, they feel awesome to press. It's not just about the min-max, but sometimes it's about the impact, oh man, I'm using an ability and this is just the most awesome ability I've ever seen. That's the type of stuff we want to inspire players to kind of jump into the next match and find even more cool stuff.
And you can strategize. One of the reasons why I like playing duos is because it almost feels like you get twice as many abilities, and you can strategize. You're going to be the fire pirate.
Hopefully all the
and
abilities
I'm going to be the Arcanosphere
are actually
pirate.
like all
So do solo players
kind of
and duo players play together?
interesting
So
now.
the way it works is
They don't have like
we have all
just
duos
a small
in
handful,
a
like
match,
3 that are super
and all
meta.
solos in a match. Duos, you can also, pre-form a party with a friend and be able to get into the match with them as well.
I think that it would end up being a little unfair to have solo players on the battlefield with duo players, because duo players are coordinating, they're coordinating their spells and abilities. We made it really easy to use the ping system in-game so that it's really easy for you to communicate even if you're not talking with your partner. So they would already have an advantage, and we wouldn't want to disadvantage a solo player like that. I think that Duos also has the revive mechanic too, which is super cool, especially if you're a player that dies first, like I tend to.
Me too. We
your
shouldn't be
partner
on the
can
same
come
team
and
then.
revive you. Absolutely
Well, no, that
not.
would be
I'll
good.
be on Orlando's team.
So if your partner dies, you are able to revive them, but you're not reviving them the normal way you would revive a player in WoW. So you don't need to press any extra buttons or collect any spells or items that do
Just
this.
click on it,
This is
probably.
actually just something that is kind of baked into the experience, that if you die, you'll have a ring around you, your partner can stand on you,
Oh.
and then you'll get revived and able to play the game again. Normally in World of Warcraft, when your character dies, you're looking at your character's corpse and seeing a release button on there. Well, with Plunderstorm, we knew that you wouldn't be able to release. So what are you going to be doing, looking at your corpse the whole time? Well, the engineers, got together and they decided, hey, let's add spectating mode to this. So once you die, you can actually spectate your teammate until you're either revived or, unfortunately, you're eliminated. And then once your team is eliminated, you can spectate anybody on the entire map.
I feel like
So we wanted to
spectation,
really
the
make sure that
spectating
we're
mode
kinda
needs
introducing
to
new
be.
things in WoW that normally.
I think spectating needs to be moved into the standard WoW. Like when you die in a raid, you can like switch between your teammates. That would be nice. Not just have to sit there wherever your dead body was. Especially considering certain raids where you like have very drastic transitions between areas where like in the tendril fight, you die in the first phase and then the team moves to the second platform and your body doesn't get moved over there for a short period of time after, and it's like then when it does, it does get moved into the right spot, but it's like being able to just being able to, you can't see them fly there, so being able to like spectate an area or a specific person, I should say, during the fight would be really nice while you are dead, because then you can at least see what other people are doing. And that was another thing, like when I was in the heroic raids, there were a few people that could not get the flying part down, like they just could not do it, and I had to stop and let them ride my dragon so that they could get across, and that would help. A spectating mode would definitely help in a situation like that, where people are like trying to figure out, how do we do this, where do I go? Some people were just having major trouble with that. That would have probably solved that problem.
Normally wouldn't exist in Dragonflight or in Classic or another variation of WoW, and make this pretty unique to Plunderstorm. There's other things that we kind of broke the rules on too, which was there's no fall damage.
And everyone can double jump.
Everyone can double jump.
Double
Just
Everyone
things
can
that we
double
thought were
jump.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
These are things that we can't do in World of Warcraft, and that's intentional because that's built around a very different experience. But here we said, well, we love WoW's combat, but we want to change up how you interact with WoW's combat, and we wanted to not only make it different for fighting other players, but also fighting monsters. All the monsters have a different type of abilities that they're going to be able to attack you with. These aren't your normal just auto attack abilities whenever a mob gets on you. These are going to be actually telegraphed abilities that you're going to see cast in front of the monster and be able to sidestep it.
Okay.
So there's actual mechanics tied to all of the monsters that are in the match as well.
Like everything has become kind of more action-oriented combat, and that's one of the things we can accomplish when it's all encapsulated within an event.
On top of that, I think a really cool part of this mode is that there's multiple layers of how you play it. So there's not only the spell acquisition, which we talked about, but also you're leveling through this experience as well. You're getting more health, and you want to get that so that you hopefully by the end of the match have enough level under your belt and enough items under your belt that you can come out on top.
I want to know, what rewards can I get from Plunderstorm? Because I'm a huge collector, and there's got to be something cool. It's Plunder after all.
Oh yeah, no, we've got a ton of rewards, a ton of intentionally pirate-themed rewards coming your way in Plunderstorm. There's 40 renown levels that you can get with Keg Legs Crew, which seems like a lot, but you're going to zip through them pretty quickly. We want this to feel super, super rewarding, so expect to get a renown level, every 4 or 5 matches, at least a renown level a day for even your casual gamer. Every renown level that you level up has a reward associated with it. Everything that you unlock in this mode is also going to unlock in your transmog set for all of your main World of Warcraft characters. And then there's a couple of classic rewards in there as well. If you're a World of Warcraft classic player, you can get a pet and a mount from this.
Is there anything you're doing to make Plunderstorm fair for all players?
One of the things we started discussing early on was whether or not we would support add-ons or try to put the majority of the information players were looking for in the game world and in the mode.
Yeah, World of Warcraft players are some of the smartest players in the world, and we're super excited for our players to check this out. One thing that we knew, though, is that we wanted a level playing field for all players to be able to play.
Yeah, no add-ons.
Third-party add-ons are awesome, and they're super cool to see, and what the community comes up with is amazing. But for this, we really wanted everybody to have the same exact experience, which also made it challenging to make the event as well, because we need to make everything super obvious. When you're casting spells or you're attacking enemies, those things, we won't have any assistance from any other add-ons, so we need to make the game really streamlined and approachable in that way.
We've really spent extra time iterating on the UI and the UX, the visual effects in game to make sure everything is as clear as possible.
Is Plunderstorm a recurring event?
We're really looking.
If only they could just do that in the standard game instead of having to have everybody rely on add-ons to tell you where things are happening. And oh man.
Forward to seeing what players think of this event. It's a brand new thing for us. It's super unique and cool and different. And depending on player feedback, we will see what the future of Plunderstorm looks like. We would love to bring it back in some form. If you like Plunderstorm, please get on the forums, please get on social media. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you would like to see in a future iteration of it. I think importantly, now that we've got all this great backbone tech set up for creating these sort of in-game events, we can definitely look forward to making more in the future. So let us know what you think.
Feedback is super important for us. It's actually something that we take very seriously, not only externally, but also internally. And we want to make sure this is a fun experience. So just like Jeremy said, get on the forums, get on social media. Let us know what you think.
I am so excited to play Plunderstorm, and I'm sure all of you are as well. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Bethany. It was great to be here, and we will see you in the Plunderstorm.
Oh my
Well, they're like
gosh, see
looking
you
at
guys
different
next
cameras.
time.
I mean, yeah, I don't know about everybody. Like I said, I'm probably. Doesn't look like my. I don't know. It doesn't look like it's what I would really be interested in. But I'm sure there will be many people that will be enjoying it. Anyway, if you guys have any, tell me what you guys think about the new game mode. I'm eager to hear what people think. Is this something that you think is going to be a big game changer for World of Warcraft? Obviously, it's a short-term thing, but is this something that you would like to see, in the long term? Yeah, it's an interesting idea, though. I'll give him that. Anyway, as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And I guess I'll see you in the next one.